Hi, I'm Jamie Lynn Thomas, and I'm a certified flower essence practitioner, and this is the third part of a 7-set series on the categories of Bach Flower Essences. And in this category, we will be talking about the insufficient interest in current or present circumstances. And the essences in that category are Clematis, honeysuckle, wild rose, olive, white chestnut, mustard, and chestnut bud. The positive qualities of insufficient interest in current or present circumstances is the gaining of wisdom. Now let's talk about Clematis. It is a type and a mood category, and the positive qualities are that there is lively interest in all things inspired. The person is artistic and down to earth, and that their sensory body is engaging with their destiny. The negative qualities is that the person might be excessively dreamy, and they're usually dreaming of a brighter future where their ideals will come true. They may appear non-attentive or not fully present. And with this quality, they tend to escape the body with mental thought of the future or of dreams of the future. And when the body and the mind are separate, that's where we start to see some imbalances occur, thus the type and mood category. I think it's interesting to note on this picture here is the seed pods that look like they have hairs or from that movie, The Lorax, those trees in Dr. Seuss's books. And then clematis flowers can come in many different colors, shapes, sizes. But the thing that we're really looking for that kind of gives us that signature of doctrine for clematis is the wispy kind of quality that is present in the seed pods, the flowers, and the vines themselves. Honeysuckle, it is a mood, and the positive qualities of honeysuckle is that you retain the wisdom of the past while letting go of the experience, whether it's a positive or negative experience. Honeysuckle tends to suck up the past, and it helps bring you to the present. It helps you to become open to new inspirations. And the negative qualities of honeysuckle is that you end up suckling the past as not to enjoy the honey of the present. People with this out of balance see that their lives were better in the past. Sometimes past lives will come in, and honeysuckle can be used to clear and work with past lives as well. You'll see in the person that they're consumed with the past. They consistently talk about it, they refer to it, and they're not living in the present. Things were always better, or the negative qualities that happened in the past have consumed their present life. They also do not expect to find further happiness. Therefore, the happiness they experienced in the past was the best it'll ever be, and they yearned for that happiness. It is a base remedy, and this must be cleared before moving forward. So just as a practitioner note or a clinical note, this is really an essence that is something that has to be worked with first. So if you notice this in a person, honeysuckle must be used for a long period of time until this quality starts to dissipate and hope starts to come in and they start to become open to new inspirations. 6 to roughly 12 weeks of using this essence for someone who's been stuck in this quality for a long period of time will greatly shift this. And we'll talk more about this as we go into the clinical and differentiations later on in our future webinars. Wild rose. Many of you have probably been seeing wild rose all over in the mountains mountains. It's a low-growing bush, has hairs all over it, including on the leaves and the stems. And the interesting thing about wild rose as an herbal note is that the fragrance of rose is present in the leaves and the stem of wild rose plants. It is a type and a mood. It has positive qualities of bringing in lively interest into all things vital, anything that activates that vital force. And it really helps you to recall the big picture, which reminds you to have enthusiasm for your destiny and for the positive and negative qualities that would be present in your life. They tend to see joy in life, and there's independence and vitality here with the positive wild rose quality. You also are nicely connected back to the heart and the head, and that the heart and the head are balanced with intuition. So the upper, the middle, and the lower worlds all become integrated and are balancing from the heart center forward. The negative qualities of wild rose are that the person is resigned to all that happens. They've really kind of just given up to whatever the situation is. These people are not seeking joy. They tend to glide through life just humming and homing. It might be a short-term or a long-term quality, this resignation. That's the type and mood qualities. And that there's little inner motivation. This quality is very flat, and when it comes up, it has to come for something that has inspiration, and that is usually not enough to move somebody out of the negative quality, this little spark of inspiration, unless they have the essence and that mindful reflection to move forward. These people tend to surrender to the struggles of life, and they tend to be cut off or disassociated from humanity, others, and they tend to be very rigid. And this rigidity comes through in all parts of their life, including this dissociation piece where they are not able to communicate or even associate with the happiness and the potential of joy in life that others are feeling and seeing. This really makes them rigid when they see it in others. And then we have olive, which is a mood. And the positive qualities of olive is that there's peace of mind, that the mind is not drained or overcome by pressures, and that it restores peace and harmony to the system, and also that you will receive energy from your eternal spirit or highest source. And then the negative qualities or expressions is that the person is literally exhausted on all levels. That's the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental bodies. That's the PSM. That's what that means. Physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. These people feel that they have no strength to go forward. So little strength that they can't even make the effort to go forward. Their daily work is extremely hard. All of their reserves are empty. We are seeing vital exhaustion here. And we are seeing the person collapsed and despondent. This is not uncommon to see when we see people in chronic fatigue phases and adrenal exhaustion phases. Then we have white chestnut. It is a mood, and the positive qualities is that it brings quiet, calm, peaceful mind, where it is undisturbed by outside influences, and that the mental body is quieted and the physical body is grounded, thus that you are deeply connecting to your soul and your soul source points. The negative qualities, or the imbalanced states, are that thoughts constantly are circulating, and they tend to create a type of anxiety, which creates even more mental torture. And when a person is circulating their thoughts like this to control the anxiety, the circulating thoughts can be comforting for folks. that they have a feeling of control over their thoughts when they are doing this. You'll see this very frequently in folks who have been sexually abused, especially early on in their life, where they were not able to control a situation or have control over their thoughts. Someone was watching them, forcing them, moving things. This is a classic essence. That would be the type quality if you'd see it in somebody who had these instances throughout their whole life. But more often than not, it'll come in as just a mood. And what we'll really see as a negative quality is that the person cannot release their day. This is the person who comes home and just go, go, go. They keep thinking about all the things they need to do, and then they work from one topic to the other, and they start to bring in other categories that are not serving, which brings in more and more imbalances. And by not releasing the day, they tend to burn themselves out physically and mentally as well, which leads to deeper exhaustion, which is what we just saw in the previous slide, which is oak, which is that exhaustion on all levels. Then we have mustard, one of the first flowers to come up out of the snow in the spring, and also it is also a mood quality. And the positive qualities of the mustard is that there's unshakable inner serenity, constant stability, and inner joy. And that you will revive your courageous spirit with the positive quality of mustard. Now, the imbalance or the negative expression of mustard is that out of the blue comes this weird dark cloud of depression. They seemingly random attacks, and the nature of these attacks are random. At least that's what it seems like. And what we like to think of is that storm cloud, where all of a sudden it's a beautiful blue sky day, you're hiking up in the mountains, and out of the blue, this dark thunderstorm comes and it pounds on you, and you have nowhere to go. And then bam, it's gone just as quick as it came in. This is the mustard mood quality. And when you're in this type of unknown depression, it is really almost impossible to feel joy, to even feel the possibility that joy is present in the world, and that the light of the world has been hidden from you. It has been hidden from you, and you can't find it anymore, and that this dark weight over the head or over the body is present. So this is a good clinical way to see if somebody is experiencing mustard qualities throughout the day. Do you feel like you have a dark weight over your head or over your body? If they do, say yes to this. Mustard is indicated. And then we have chestnut bud, which is also a mood. And the positive qualities of chestnut bud is that you're keenly observant of all events and that you are learning from everyone's experience, not just your own, and that you're really unfolding the lotus within. And the lotus, what we're referring to, is the highest expression of your higher self in your physical body. This is what we experience when we are fully living our calling and being who and what we're supposed to be in this world. The negative quality is for those who make the same mistakes over and over again. They're having a hard time to learn, and they're unable to learn from these life lessons that keep coming in, trying to teach them repeatedly over and over. These folks also have a hard time observing others' mistakes and learning from them. Bach talks about these folks as people who see others making mistakes, totally understand that these are mistakes, that these are not serving that person. However, they are not able to take that translation, that information, and put it onto their own system. Ooh, maybe I'm not learning from these experiences that this person just did. So some classic examples we'll look at in the next couple of webinars when we start to do differentials. And then the next category in the Bach is loneliness. And we'll be talking about that in the 4th webinar. Thanks for listening.